Good morning. Welcome to your early morning intuitive guidance. I believe it's Friday. My poor brain. Anywho, we have a wonderful card today, and I think it's going to be a healing balm for many of us. And there's a couple of questions in the journey part of the card that I will attempt to remember to put in the feed when I transfer it to all the different platforms. But these are two very good questions to consider, and I'm going to walk you through them in a guided imagery kind of way, because I feel like when we just talk and I would ask those questions, you would go to a certain level of considering them and tapping into your own inner wisdom about them. If we do it as a guided imagery, I think it's much more likely that you'll go deeper into the resonance of these questions and what they mean for you and where they can lead you and what doors they can open for you. So, we will give it a minute for people to jump on. And interestingly, when I opened up my Facebook this morning, it was on my personal page, so I needed to switch to my business page. And it was a task. I'm not sure why, but buttons that used to take me where I needed to go to shift platforms or to shift from my personal page to my business page were just not there. So it took a little while. Hopefully we have this done correctly. So again, we're going to give it a minute and let people pop on up. There we go. Good morning, Nancy. Hopefully this is on my business page. It doesn't show me the indicators once I start it, but I did make the attempt to switch from my personal page to my business page. So we'll give it a minute to get yet and have some people roll in. Hope things are good in Texas. Yeah. Again, I think this card is going to be an opportunity for a very profound insight. We shall see. So let's start with some tapping. And let's start with some breath. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Make the next one a little deeper. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. Good morning, Barb. Glad you're here. Welcome. And it says 3, so I assume someone else has popped on. Your name isn't rolling, but glad you are here, getting our group of practical rebels together. And I'll say it again. I think this is going to be a profound card. Good morning, Gwen. Glad you're here. Welcome, welcome. And there's Mel. Yay! We're getting the whole gang here. This is good. This is good. So I'm going to take a drink before we start this card, because I think it's going to be such a good card. Muscle testing again led us to the Native Spirit deck by Denise Lynn. And our card for today, and I was looking at the edges of the cards, and sometimes different things will grab me. One might be sticking up a little more. There might be a cluster that's really tightly together. Today what drew me in was there was this band of cards that were this color. So I could see the edge of the color, and this was the brighter, lighter, the cards of light. Peace pipe. Our card for today is peace pipe. And I'll move a little closer so you can see the beautiful red rocks. Maybe that's Painted Canyon. Maybe that's somewhere in Arizona. Maybe that's the Dakotas. I'm not sure where it is, but beautiful wherever it is. So let's take a breath. Opening ourselves to receive this message fully. Exhale. Peace pipe. Card meaning: heal old wounds with people and situations. Carefully do whatever you need to do to make amends. Forgive yourself and forgive others. It's time. You no longer need to carry the burden. You are a mender, capital M. Help others mend bridges in their lives. You bring peace to the world. So you know there are those people for whom this comes pretty naturally. Not the people pleasers. That's not what we're talking about here. We're talking about the people who can see past a conflict to a resolution and help others get there. That's what we're talking about. Your native spirit wants you to know, in native traditions, sharing a peace pipe filled with sacred tobacco and herbs was a way of finding common ground. Speaking of common ground, we have a new common ground conversation that'll be coming out, and Jonelle and I were talking about grief. And not just the grief that we experience when someone passes away, but the grief from any kind of losses. Not getting the job we really, really wanted, breaking up with somebody, physically not being able to do what we used to do. All the different losses that human beings experience. Losing our pets, that can be a devastating one. So look for that. That'll be coming out at some point soon, depending on when Morgan gets to that one. I know there was a little bit of a backup of some because Jonelle was putting them in one folder and Morgan was looking in another folder. So, but it will be one on grief, and that I think is a good one. And sometimes grief is involved in this kind of thing. So sharing a peace pipe was a way of finding common ground and dropping discord. It was a respite in order to calmly assess a situation and find a peaceful resolve. There are times to drop everything and leave. There are also times to carefully mend bridges with people, situations, and places. Can you look back on your life? Good morning, Ruth Ann. Glad you're here. Can you look back on your life and see the times and places where you prematurely burned a bridge and kind of wish you hadn't? It happens. It happens. Let's see. So I'm going to read that last sentence again because I think it's important and powerful. There are times to drop everything and leave. There are also times to carefully mend bridges with people, situations, and places. This is one of those healing times. Maybe there is a wound inside you that needs to be forgiven or accepted. Maybe you need to forgive yourself or forgive another. Transform the inner grievance. I love that. If one of you could put that in the feed, transform the inner grievance. Do it now. You don't need to forgive the act, but there's power in forgiving the person. My friend Deb used to always say, hurt people hurt people. So there's reasons why people do the stupid shit they do that causes us pain, and that doesn't mean they're not responsible for the choices they've made, but we free ourselves when we forgive them for the act. You don't have to put yourself in the position of being willing to be wounded again with that person, but you can forgive them for that act, knowing that something is amiss in their world, or they probably wouldn't have chosen to act that way. You no longer need to carry it with you. Perhaps there is a person from your past with whom you should reconnect. You know what you need to do. This is the time to do it. Now, in the journey part, it's having us write down these questions, which would be a good thing to do too. But I want to take you a little deeper into it because I think there can be a more powerful level of healing that occurs. So if you're able, I'd like you to close your eyes. But again, not if you're driving. Find a quiet space, close your eyes. Take a nice deep breath in. Let it go. Dropping your shoulders. Thank you, Mel. I appreciate it. Transform the inner grievance. And that's what we're going to do right now. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. And I'd like you to, as you continue to breathe deeply and easily, to allow yourself to go. Thank you, Gwen. Allow yourself to go to your safe place. Your safe place is a place of your own choosing. It will be exactly as you need it to be. It can be inside or outside. It can be of this world or beyond. You'll know what you need to have in your safe place. It may be a place you're very familiar with from your 3D world. It may be a place from your dream world. It may be a brand new place. But wherever this place is, it is your safe place for this particular exercise. Nice deep breath in and out. And I'd like you to look around this safe place. Look around and enjoy what you see, knowing that this is a place of healing just for you. And I'd like you to find a comfortable spot in this safe place to sit or lie down. And we have 2 questions to ponder today. And as I give you each question, I want you to go deeply within yourself. You're in a safe place. Deeply within yourself to that wise part of you that is connected to all that is. The part of you that bridges between your 3D self and the divine. Connected to the universe, connected to God, connected to spirit, connected to all that is. Breathing yourself into that connection. And here's the first question for you to consider. If there was an area of my life to which I need to bring peace, what might it be? Breathe and receive the guidance. And you might get multiple ones. That's fine too. You can do this exercise over and over. But for now, I'd like you to pick one. Let there be one that kind of rises to the surface. It may be the one that's most impactful. It may be the one that's been hanging around the longest. It may be the one that's newest, or it may be one that feels small enough to do this with first, to kind of test drive this process, to use for the bigger ones again and again. If there was an area of my life to which I need to bring peace, what might it be? And then our next step on transforming this inner grievance is to answer this second question. What's the first step that I need to take toward resolving a rift with another or a feeling unfinished regarding a person or situation? What's the first step that I need to take toward resolving a rift with another or a feeling unfinished regarding a person or situation? And for those of you who are thinking, oh, it's too late, that person is dead now, or I don't know where they are, or, it's 30 years since this thing happened, you can still resolve this situation. Imagine that person. Imagine that situation. Energetically, you can go back in time and transform that energy that has come forward with you around that situation, around that person. What's the first step that I need to take toward resolving a rift with another or a feeling unfinished regarding a person or situation? Thank you, Gwen. I appreciate that. And sometimes it might be doing a ceremony, doing a ritual. It might be writing a letter to that person or to the situation and then burning it. It might be doing a sacred walk through nature that you designate a healing walk for this person or this situation. It might be ceremoniously burying some thing, artifact that you have that represents that situation. Using a ritual can be a very helpful part of this process. But I'm going to read the questions again, and you're just there in your safe place, breathing and receiving. If there was an area of my life to which I need to bring peace, what might it be? What's the first step that I need to take toward resolving a rift with another or a feeling unfinished regarding a person or situation? Take action. So let's breathe a little bit on that. You're in your safe place, breathing about that action to be taken. Nice deep breath in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And now, with that resolve in mind, I'd like you to come back to this present moment. Right here, right now. You might want to tap your feet on the floor a little bit, maybe wiggle your fingers a bit, and when you're ready, you can open your eyes. So here's our card, peace pipe. If you smoke, maybe you smoke a peace pipe for this particular release, forgiveness. Again, forgiveness being a very powerful exercise in setting yourself free. So, hopefully that was helpful. If you want to put some comments or thoughts in the feed, that'd be fabulous. I will answer them when I come back around to post this where it all needs to go. But I hope you have a lovely day, and we'll see you again tomorrow. Remember, you're capable of far more than you think you are. Bye-bye.